One of the things that I pride myself on in terms of my methods are I am prepared to be a fool. I am prepared to be an idiot and to be perceived in that way. But I got a little bit of validation here because I found out I'm not the only person who does this. And to be honest, I don't really care because my methods, well, this particular method has been very, very resourceful for me in the mitigation of anxiety and naturally the increase of my creativity and also my confidence as well in social circumstances. So I wanted to read this particular post from the self-improvement subreddit. It took me 4 years to kill my anxiety. I can teach you in 5 minutes. So I used to be worrying a lot, worry about whether or not I'll make it. But in front of my partner, I was always, yeah, we're gonna make it, man. It's definitely going to happen. But at the back, I'm thinking, is this going to be the case? It took me a long time before I discovered the power of voice journaling. I know it sounds stupid. Who the hell wants to talk to themselves? I had the same thoughts as you. When I tried it out for myself, I didn't just kill my anxiety. Most of the time, I also managed to fall asleep faster. This is honestly probably the fastest way to accept something that happened or may not happen. I hear they always talk about you have to learn to accept certain situations. But what is the practical tool in order to do so? How do you do this? For example, if you're anxious about a kidney transplant, whether or not you're going to be successful in this operation, whether or not you're going to survive, you probably won't make it. I say that not to be discouraging, but because I really don't know, nor do you. You don't have to be passive about it either. So you've got the two perspectives of maybe being a little bit cynical and maybe being a little bit too optimistic about the present circumstances. You know you'll make it, but you can't predict whether or not it's going to be 100%. So how do you go through each particular thought forms, allow them to run their course to a logical end without indulging neurotic anxiety, thought forms, patterns, etc., etc. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole thing because actually this individual isn't the best writer. Apologies, but we do appreciate your message. There was a comment here that I found very, very valuable by Wendy Highland. So, voice journaling is a fantastic way to habit stack. Cal Newport talks about how people are so messed up these days because we never allow ourselves any time to think. I think this is a very, very important principle that not a lot of people are commensurate with. So we have so much input. You're inputting right now this information into your mind. If you're reading, if you're watching movies, Netflix, social media, when do you actually give yourself a time to kind of sift through the information that's actually being inputted into the gray matter? The analogy I like to give is if there is a bucket of water, full to the brim of water, when you're actually looking inside that liquid and sifting through, finding what's valuable, iterating what's valuable, editing, changing your particular thoughts in there, instead of just overflowing the bucket with more water. It's not commensurate to understanding and to the mitigation of anxiety, which is a huge, huge problem, and stress in the modern world. So he says that science says we need solitude, time away from anybody else's thoughts to regulate our emotions and how we interact with the world. But nobody does that because they are either too busy doing things or, again, the input is too much. He says the best time to give yourself this time to think is while walking. This is the habit stack. So you're walking, journaling, and exercising as well. And even nature exposure if you're walking in an environment where you're in nature. So what I do is, and this individual does this, and I do this, I'll show you what I do a little bit more specifically, is go for hour-long walks with AirPods in and a voice recorder to journal. Now, I'll go into specifically what I do here because I believe there's better application. And this was in reference to a tweet I made the other day. Voice journaling is one of the most powerful creative habit stacks. Number one, download Otter AI. So Otter AI is, in my research, the best speech-to-text app out there. And I've tried a lot of these. This, by trial and error, is the best one. It looks a little bit like this if you're going to be on desktop, but it also has a app you can download to your phone as well. You just turn it on, speak into it, and it will organize your thoughts. Number 2 is take a walk with headphones. 3, let your creative mind cook. If anyone else is looking at you, they will just think that you're on a call, taking a stroll. So you're not going to get funny looks. It's important you do have the headphones because otherwise they will look at you funny. What are the benefits I've found of employing this particular system? Reduction of nervous mental energy, first and foremost. I think for me, voice journaling, and not just voice journaling, but I will, pace up and down here in my flat and just talk to myself about different creative ideas. Is a form of catharsis and allowing a kind of output to that mental energy in a place where it's more, tangible. The other alternative is journaling. Now, I do journal as well, but in my personal experience, there's a reduced lag time from thoughts to you writing the word comparatively to thought and speaking and recording it via text. It helps you think more productively. Now, key word in here is productively. A lot of time we can think, but ineffectively, unproductively. You're really using the information that is in your memory and reorganizing it in a way which is valuable. That's really, really important. Without more input, you losing the information because, again, your short-term memory is highly unreliable, and actually synthesizing it into something which is valuable and creative. So it cooks up creative ideas. When you are walking, you are allowing yourself to access 70% of your subconscious mind, which storehouses a lot of information that previously we wouldn't be able to access if we're just inputting. Falling asleep faster because you don't have that nervous, neurotic backlog of information. Improved sleep and recovery, less mental chatter, more positive emotion, and a reliable system. Meaning this is something that you can continue to use daily, fortnightly, whenever you need to, that has a reliable outcome of all these benefits here. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself more often than not. I mean, we talk to other people, we ask them how they're doing, but rarely we ask ourselves how we're doing. Now, some alternatives to moving this nervous energy out of the body, you can kind of see the nervous energy kept in the body. Breathwork, of course, breathwork is a very, very powerful medium, not just to quieten the mind, but also get the nervous tension and neurotic holding patterns out of the body. I'm going to speak a little bit more in the future about TRE, trauma release exercises, because we hold a lot of these neurotic nervous, patterns and character armoring, as Wilhelm Reich described, in the body, in the fascia, in the myofascia, which is another form of getting the nervous energy out of the body, that we can induce through tremors in the body. Bioenergetics is another way of doing this. Primal screaming, so when you're getting a pillow, screaming into the pillow to get that nervous energy out. And yoga, deep stretching with breathing as well, is another fantastic medium to release a lot of that pent up energy. I truly believe if incessant thoughts and unreliable or unresourceful internal dialogue is a problem for you, voice journaling is a no-brainer, is a home run. If nervous energy starts to manifest itself too much in the body, breath work is my number one go-to. And there are some guided breath works on my Patreon, and people are enjoying them very, very much, and appreciate your support if you are a Patreon. But these are not theories, gentlemen. These are facts. Speak soon.